In this video, I am going to show you what insights are available for a Facebook page manager. I have to log into my page from my personal account. So I am the owner of a Facebook fan page called as Social Media Marketing, and I'm going to switch to that by clicking on this link. If you manage multiple pages, you can access them by clicking on this down arrow in your Facebook, and it will show you all the different pages you manage, and select the page that you really want to open. So in my case, I will select Social Media Marketing. As a page owner, this is the view I get. So just a quick background about this page. This Facebook fan page is not very active, and I created this Facebook fan page to show to my students back in 2010, 2011, somewhere around that time. And currently this Facebook fan page has about 800 likes. To get this Facebook insights, or the access to the Facebook insights, you need to have at least 30 likes on your Facebook fan page. I do not post much on this Facebook fan page, but I still have plenty of data to show to you. So let's understand, as a Facebook page manager, what information I have from Facebook, and what all information I can also output as an Excel file, which I can then later analyze in R, Tableau, Python, or any other programming languages I want. If you pay attention to the top menu bar, there are several tabs which appear here. What you want to focus on more is the tab which is labeled Insights, and this is the one that we are going to drill into. I click on Insights tab, and I get a pretty detailed summary view right in this dashboard. So what all things is it showing me? So first of all, it tells me what are the new actions that were done on this page, how many page views I got, how many page previews. This part I'm not very clear about. There is a, so if you want to read something more about this, all you have to do is hover your mouse over this I, which is for the information, and that tells you what this metric means. Now, in case of Facebook or any other social media, there is no shame in admitting that you do not know certain term, because these terminologies are first of all created by the social networks. So Facebook created this terminology called as page previews, but it does not have a standard definition. Secondly, all the social media companies keep on changing these terminologies from one year to another year, and you have to, that's why, keep a track of these things by visiting these pages from time to time. And in this case, page previews is something that they added more recently, which I am not aware of. So it is the number of times people hovered over your page name or profile picture to see a preview of your page content, but they actually did not go to your Facebook fan page. So this might be interesting insight if you are a commercial page and you want to know why you do not get a lot of people liking your page. So this might be a signal, because people are doing a lot of previews. They do not like or do not find your page interesting, so they do not even click on your page. Page likes is something that we have known for a long time. It is basically the number of people who have liked your page, right? Facebook also breaks down these numbers by organic and paid page likes. So I'll get into that quickly very soon. Then we have information on the number of people who saw any of your post at least once. So this is the reach. Typically in marketing, we are interested in this metric quite a lot. Facebook has added stories, which I do not use much, and I have in fact not even enabled stories at this point on my Insight dashboard. Then there are some new again controls on recommendations, the number of times people recommended your page. So this is great if you run a campaign and you're asking people to like your page and recommend to their friends, you will get to see that right here. And then finally we have information on page engagement, videos, and so on. Now again, this is something relatively new, is that we have this information on orders. So if you are selling something from your Facebook fan page, and Facebook is trying to push that more, they do not want all their revenue coming only from advertising. So they want brands to sell items from Facebook fan pages, and then that way they can claim some share of that revenue. This is not a commercial page, so for me it doesn't really matter. There is one more thing I want to clarify. There is something which is different. There is a difference between page followers and page likes, and a lot of people do not know that. So page followers are the number of people who follow this page, right? This means that they are not necessarily, they do not like this page, they do not want to. So liking, I would consider as a more commitment compared to just following it. So this is what this is showing. I do not have many followers on my page. It is mostly people who are liking it. Now what we have interestingly also in this dashboard is post by post analysis, and it just shows you 5 top posts, 5 recent posts, and how they perform. As you can see that the last post I made was in November last year, so as you see it is not very active, and it reached 95 fans, and I got some engagement there. So there is some shares and some likes, maybe comments, something I got here. It does not go into detail quite a lot, but it shows you that there is a post click 1, and then the reaction, comments, and shares combined I got about 6. We can drill down deeper into the post analytics. I will show you how to do that, and you can go a little bit more in the past by clicking on this button, see all posts. Now what you will also see highlighted here is the promotion column, and this promotion column shows you this button with boost post. This is the advertising platform from where Facebook makes money. Now although in analytics we may not have to drill down into the ad platform, but it is important to understand what this platform is, what we can do with this platform. So I will show you that in a moment. Finally, we have some headline numbers, like in this case the total page like is 828, and again I'm surprised that there is any activity on this page, and I can add more pages and other stuff to this dashboard. On the left you will have several more tabs that show you specifically now details about metrics like likes, reach, followers, and so on. So let me click on likes. That tells me how the likes have been over certain period. I can pick and choose those periods. So here it is selected as it could be 1 week, 1 month, 1 quarter, and I can, if I want, I can move this. It's interactive, and that tells me, how the likes have been. And you can see that in my case, there have been like this scattered likes, one single like for over this period, and there have been some unlikes as well, right? So these likes and unlikes combine. It leads to your total followers. So these are the numbers that you'll get. Now you might think that, hey, but what I see here is all a dashboard. It is just and these are all visualizations. So how do I actually analyze all this data? So for that, we go back to the overview tab here, and in the overview tab, you will see there is this button called export data. And this is the holy grail. This is where all the stuff is saved. So you click on export data. It gives you three options. You can either output page data, which will just give you the key page metrics for engagement, like sources, audience details, and so on. You can drill down and get post level data, and finally you can also get data on videos. And videos, by the way, are a major component of Facebook. Facebook competes with YouTube heavily in videos, and so many brands use videos, and that's why they have a separate data type for videos. You can download this file as Excel, but then there is CSV also to if you want to import it in other data other software. Finally, you pick the date range for this, and then any specific layout you want. So typically in this case, let's say we want to download all the page data, but if you wanted to instead specifically focus on 2 or 3 metrics, you could do that as well. Now when you click on this export data, this data set will be exported and saved to your download folder wherever you have that. Now in my case, I have already downloaded this data, so I'm going to open this file, Excel file, and I'm going to show it to you, and then we will understand the structure of this this output data. Alright, so this is the file that I have already downloaded. So first of all, what you'll find is that it has tons of information, and there are multiple worksheets here. There are numerous worksheets, in fact. So it can go in like really details about the page performance. But let's understand the key metrics that we have here. So this is time series data, right? And so it depends on what time series we picked. So this is just about barely a month long time series, and it tells me my how many likes I had every day, right? Total likes. Then what were the total number of likes I got, unlikes I got, then engaged users, weekly engaged user, then monthly engaged, like 20 days engaged users, then daily reach, weekly reach, and so you can see. And by the way, this is again, reach can be organic versus it can be paid, and so it splits in that. And in my case, I do not have any paid reach because I did not run any campaign. So my reach is mostly organic. Now, and that's why you'll see that like weekly total reach and my weekly organic reach numbers should be similar. Now I don't know why the 28 days total reach and my organic reach, these numbers are slightly different from each other. I'm not aware of the reason for this. I will have to look into this because as I said, I do not have a paid campaign, but it is possible that the organic reach is the reach of the post to people who like my page. It might be the people who are not my fans, but despite that they got to see this because my fans shared that post, right? And so we had that some of the posts are shared and with their friends, and they might have clicked on that, and that gives me some engagement, which or it increases my reach, although it is not something that is organically created among my fans. But that's my interpretation. I don't know exactly the difference between that two. I mean, why that is not showing up here in this case. Oh, there you go. So I have actually some viral reach as well, but still it does not add up to that, right? So there is some viral reach. How are they defining viral reach? So interestingly, they give that detailed definition. The number of people who had any content from your page or about your page enter their screen through the social information attached. So that they give all those details there. Impressions. Again, all these terminologies are important, and we will see this, understand these things in our face-to-face class, which is unfortunately is going to be online face-to-face class. But there I will be able to give you more idea about all these concepts. Finally, so as you can see that there is going on and on with, of course, aggregated weekly, aggregated on 28 days, and so on. But numerous variables are available here, right? So if you put now yourself into the shoes of a Facebook page manager who runs a busy fan page, which is engaging a lot of people, it is posting a lot of new content all the time, you will realize that they actually have very deep insight into the Facebook page performance. And this, by the way, is just simply the first sheet of the key metrics. Now we can drill down deeper, and then we'll get into things like, okay, where are people coming from, right? So what is the source for this daily page like? Now in my case, because nobody liked this or hardly any likes are there is not much information here, but this kind of data is available. Then this is the daily total frequency distribution. It is a number of people your page reached, broken down by how many times people saw any content about your page, unique users, and this the frequency distribution again broken down, right? So this again get into pretty detailed. Lifetime likes by country. So this is something interesting, and I think this probably will interest you. Here it shows me where my likes are mostly, right? So where are these people are from? So people who have liked my page. And I think so I can tell you that in my case, right? So by the way, Mexico, there are a few people, like out of 811 people are from Mexico. There are 8 people from Malaysia. I don't know what is MA, but let me see if I have France, right? So I have 28 people from France, and one of the reasons for that is that I used to teach in a French business school, and although I did not teach social media marketing there, I used to promote my page, and students used to sometimes go and like it. Similarly, I teach my course in social media marketing course in Germany in Mannheim Business School, and because of that, GB is probably Great Britain, right? So DE is Germany. So only 8 people from Germany, so that's not that great. So where are most of these people coming from then, right? So where are they? Where is majority of my people coming from? My fans coming from? It is US. And one of the reasons for that is that in the beginning, when I was teaching this course, I was teaching this social media marketing course, not marketing analytics. Social media marketing course I was in the US, and that is the time I used to push this, promote this, and many of my Facebook friends are from US as well, and then I promoted to them, and that's why I have substantially large number of people coming from USA. There might be some people from India as well, because I'm an Indian and many of my friends are from India too. So I have 73. That probably is the second most populous. I'm surprised why I have so many students come as fans coming from Italy. All these things are fascinating. Now we can drill down deeper and go it and study it by city. And Binghamton, New York, why there are these people coming in? Because Binghamton is where I did my PhD. But many students actually don't live there, so that's why that number is not like a huge number. I would be curious, how many are there from, say, something like Mumbai. I'm surprised there are several people from Bangladesh in Dhaka. And let's see in Mumbai how many I get. That is where I am from originally, and I have a decent number. I have tons of people from New York, and the reason is that most of my students in Binghamton were from New York City. So this says in New York NY, it should be New York City NY, and then people from France as well. So Paris, I mean. Again, this is really fascinating information. It tells me about my the demographics of my fans. Now, what you should also keep in mind though is that Facebook never gives you the information about the people, about your fans, that is not public. So if the fans are hiding that information, there is no way you can get that information out. Alright, so there was one more thing I wanted to show you in the data, that suppose I instead of selecting page data, I select post data. And in case of post data, there is a limit that this date range has to be maximum 180 days, but it can go back very much in time, by the way. So you can go back several years, back to, in my case, 5 years. I think probably that is the limit. Again, I downloaded data from June 2019 to roughly November 2019, and I have already downloaded that sheet. So let me show you how that looks. Okay, so in this data, I won't go into each and every sheet here because there is not much activity, right? But again, the key metrics are really important. It tells you what is the post ID, which is the ID of your the post I made. That's going to be a unique ID. The first part is the page ID, and the second part is the ID of the post. So this is a combination of the two. So you can see that the first part remains the same across the board here, right? And the reason is that is my Facebook fan page ID. Then it shows me the permanent link for that. So the Malche SMM is the name of my Facebook fan page. And then what was the post message? So that is the caption. So you can imagine that all this information can be really interesting. So if you are running an experiment to see which type of post gets more likes, you can do a sentiment analysis on your post message to see what kind of sentiment it had, whether it created more interest among people because the caption that you wrote here was very it was very good, it was very positive, or it was very it led to more anxiety among people. So you want to see that, you can see that from these messages. Now in my case, I was just using the titles of the articles as the post message, so it is not something that I wrote personally. It was just automatically populated and shown there to people. Then it shows when it was posted, so it's a pretty, again, exact timestamp up to seconds. And next it will show me what is the number of reach here, again organic and paid, because I do not do any paid advertising. All my reach is purely organic. And then it gets into the engagement and what kind of engagement that is, whether it is by the way, there is a negative feedback. I don't know exactly what that feedback was, but maybe the comment that a person made on that post, or it is a reaction to the post, like, you know, angry face or sad face. That could be a negative feedback. How much was the impressions, then the reach, and so on and so forth. So it gives you again pretty detailed information on the key metrics of your post. So again, if you are an active, you are an administrator of an active Facebook fan page, you are going to get a pretty detailed information on the performance of your own Facebook fan page. All right. So finally, I want to show you something that is really fascinating about Facebook, and that is the ad platform that Facebook has. So I will not be getting into the super complex nitty-gritties about the ad platform, because if I have to do that, that takes us away from marketing analytics and takes us into digital marketing or social media marketing advertising lesson. Besides that, it is fascinating. So you might be able to learn all these things by yourself if you just start a Facebook fan page. So the simplest way you can create an ad is to boost a specific post, and you want to reach more people. So you can start with that. But that is just one example, by the way, of the ad platform, because Facebook ad campaigns can be to increase the Facebook fan following. It could be for selling something, or you want people to download your app, you want to sell some items. So you can use Facebook ad platform for multiple things. All right, so in case of Facebook, now this was the post, right? So this is how it will show up, by the way. So this is going to show you the preview in desktop, then in mobile, and so on. So let's say how it will look in mobile, right? So this is how it will show up in mobile. So it shows all these details. You will see that there is this tag sponsored, and this is important, that it shows up that it shows that this is an advertisement and this is not organic. If it has to come into the right column in desktop, this is how it will look like. I will go back to the desktop news feed. Then it gives you options for this, right? The buttons that you want here. So it learn, shop now, book now, sign up, get direction, send message, send WhatsApp message. So it gives you actually a lot of options. And this send WhatsApp message is there because WhatsApp is owned by Facebook, if you didn't know. All right, so this is going to appear there. It says it can't be removed or changed after your post has been boosted. So you better know why you are promoting this post. All right, so this one here, it tells you that what you are going to do with this, right? So send people to your website, get more people to react, comment, and share. Or other option is connect and chat with potential customers. So you can pick and choose here as well. And Facebook ad platform is pretty cheap to start. As you can see, it starts, you can have just budget of $1 a day, and you can start with that. Here is something that is interesting. Facebook can go into super complicated like details into this into the audience. That means who are the target of your campaign, and you can pick and choose very specifically. So for example, if I go to this edit, and here I can start selecting whether men, women, what is the age, what is the geography, and then you go into the detailed targeting. You can include the people specific demographics. So in demographic, you can select education level, field of study, and so on, financials about their income, then life events, right? Birthdays, friends of, and numerous others, right? So it gives you a very, very fine-grained control over the kind of targeting that you want to do with this, right? So relationship, for example, where the relationship status is, what is it, right? So married, unmarried, single, whatever, separated, and so on. What I find interesting is the interests and behavior. So here, what people have shown their interest for, so you can specifically again select that, right? And it can, by the way, go into very, very fine detail as well. So I like technology a lot, so let me show you that one. And within technology, let's say I like computers, so get into computers, and then here all the things you have within computers. Consumer electronics will be even more detailed because there are so many different types of consumer electronics. And finally, this is something which has been controversial, and this, by the way, is your behavior, right? So this is the behavior that Facebook monitors and it can use. So here is an example. Let's say we want like politics here, right? The US politics. So likely engagement with political content. So I can target conservatives, that is the Republican voters, versus the liberal voters or moderate. I can target them at that level. Then I can select the purchase behavior of people, whether it is engaged shopper or not, and travel and tourism, and so on, right? So all this information, by the way, you might think that, oh well, then I should not give this information to Facebook. Well, it doesn't matter really, because Facebook actually has all this information not only from your Facebook activities that you are sharing, but Facebook also collects tons of information on you from multiple other sources, and they buy that information from various apps. Most of the apps that you use, even if they are not owned by Facebook, they still send a lot of information to Facebook because Facebook pays them to share that data. So it doesn't matter whether you share something with Facebook or not. Even if you do not have a Facebook account, Facebook might still have information on you. By the way, you can exclude people as well and narrow your audiences. Excluding people has been controversial in some cases. Like there were situations where they allowed advertisers to exclude people based on their religious belief. So you could exclude people who are, let's say, Hindus or Jewish or Christians. You could pick and choose, and that is illegal in most cases. So they had to stop that. So as you can see, this is all like a very fine-grained ad platform, but you can do more than this, by the way. This is just for this post boosting, but that's just scratching the surface. We can actually get into much more fine-grained details on advertising. All right, so then you will once you set your audience, you choose your budget, how long you want to run the campaign, when it will end, and what is the budget that you want to use for this. And then it tells you right then and there what is your estimated reach with this. So it tells you a range, 370 to 1,000 people per day. So if you believe that the conversion in this case is, let's say, 0.1%, that every 1,000 people that see your post, one person clicks on it, then in that case you can imagine that you are spending, in this case, about $2 a day to get one like on your page. That is quite expensive, right? But it depends on what you are doing. By the way, this $10 because this account I set up a long time back in Singapore, so that is showing up in Singapore, and I have attached my PayPal account to it. So in this case, you can imagine now, I do this and I click on boost, and that's it. The advertisement is now underway. It is as simple as this, and this is why Facebook is so popular among advertisers. This is one of the reasons. Of course, the performance is also pretty good, but you can see they are so user friendly. So if you are a business that uses Facebook ad platform, now you can imagine that all the insights that we are getting, they are so much more important now, because they tell you the return on investment on your advertising. So you will be able to do that with this. So I will cancel this ad. So this is in a nutshell how Facebook insights work, what all information we can get out of that. And I'm going to create another video where I am going to show you the analytics you will get from Twitter. They are not as detailed as Facebook, but still there is still a lot of information to be gleaned from Twitter analytics as well. In case of Facebook, they do have an official API for which is application programming interface, that allows you to download all this data without visiting this website, and you can just download this data directly from your from your R Studio Console or Jupyter Notebook. It will allow you to do that. However, getting permission to do that is very complicated. They have made it very, very difficult after Cambridge Analytica scandal. So many people prefer to just download the data this way for their page. And if you are doing it for some other people's pages, I will show you in the class what are the solutions there. Unfortunately, the only solution is to scrape that data, and that scraping is not that easy either. So I will talk about that in more details in our online class where we will talk in person. I hope you gained something out of this video. What I suggest to you is that if you could create a Facebook fan page, which is very simple to create, by the way. So if you go back to your own account, this is, by the way, this is my Facebook page. All you have to do is that here, go into the into your pages here, right, and click on create a page, and that's it. And you can start from there. So create a page and it will start from here. And Facebook actually makes this experience very simple. Then once you do that, to get some insights, you need to have 30 likes on that. So easiest thing you can do is to ask your friends, Facebook friends, to go and like that page. All of you are also professors, so I would suggest maybe you can ask your students to go and like that page. So with that in mind, then you should have that page that is interesting to your students as well. So you could create a page for your course, and that will be the best strategy to attract students and to like that page. However, if you think that that may not be that appropriate for you to do, then you just create a Facebook fan page that will be liked by your friends. And by the way, your students need not be your Facebook friends to like your Facebook fan page. So that's a different relationship altogether, to be on Facebook and become a friend with your student. That I don't do that, and I'm pretty sure most of you discourage that. So Facebook fan page, however, is not your personal account, so you don't have to worry about it.